Hi all, welcome to ClearIAS Challenge. I am Dr. Ramyasri NPC, an educator at ClearIAS. Are you all ready to challenge yourself? Here are today's prelims questions.
Question number 1. What is the most common cause of forest fires in India? Option A. Lightning. Option B. Human activities. Option C. Dry wind. Option D. Low level of soil moisture. Question number 2. Which of the following is or are true? 1. Soil erosion is one of the consequences of forest fires. 2. Burning of forest at the peak of the dry season helps to stimulate grass growth before the monsoon rains break. Option A. Only 1. Option B. Only 2. Option C. 1 and 2. And option D. Neither 1 nor 2. Question number 3. A report on forest fires is published by A. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. B. Forest Survey of India. Option C. Ministry of Home Affairs. And option D. UNEP.
Comment your answers in the comment box now itself. Now it's time for today's mains questions.
Question number 1. What are the major causes of forest fires in India? Discuss its impact on the forest ecosystem. Suggest some measures to tackle it. Question number 2. There is social, economic and environmental imbalance due to the continuous increase of forest fires in India as well as the world. Do you agree that public apathy towards forest is the most responsible for this problem? Question number 3. What factors make forest fires a concern? What efforts are being taken to protect forests from fire in India? Question number 4. Forest fires pose a threat not only to the forest wealth but also to the entire regime. In view of this statement, discuss the various adverse impacts of forest fires.
You can write mains answers too in the comment box. All these questions are related to forest fires.
This topic comes under Paper 2 of the UPSC main syllabus, that is General Studies 1, Indian Heritage and Culture, History and Geography of the World and Society. Under it, it comes under important geographical phenomena such as earthquakes, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclone, etc. Geographical features and their location changes in critical geographical features including water bodies and ice caps, and in flora and fauna and the effects of such changes. It also comes under Paper 4 of the UPSC main syllabus, that is General Studies 3. Under it, Environment and Ecology, Protection, Environmental Pollution and Degradation, Assessment of Environmental Impact.
Now, let's discuss this topic in detail under the heads.
Importance of forest. What is forest fire? Types of forest fires. Causes of forest fire. How fire-prone are India's forests? Impacts of forest fire. Measures required to prevent forest fires. Government's initiatives. Challenges.
First of all, let's see what are the importance of forest.
Forests play an important role in mitigation and adaptation to climate change. Forests act as a sink, reservoir and source of carbon. A healthy forest stores and sequesters more carbon than any other terrestrial ecosystem. According to Census 2011, about 1.7 lakh villages in India are in close proximity to forest. The livelihood of several crores of people is dependent on fuel wood, bamboo, fodder and small timber. Now we'll see what is forest fire. It is also called bush or vegetation fire or wildfire. It can be described as any uncontrolled and non-prescribed combustion or burning of plants in a natural setting such as a forest, grassland, bushland or tundra, which consumes the natural fuels and spreads based on environmental conditions.
Or simply we can say forest fire is the uncontrolled fire that destroys large parts of the forest.
Now, we'll be seeing different types of forest fires. Forest fires are not always the same. They may differ depending upon its nature, size, spreading speed, behavior, etc. Basically, forest fires can be subgrouped into 4 types depending upon their nature and size. The first one is surface fires. Surface fire is the most common forest fires that burn undergrowth and dead material along the floor of the forest. It is a type of fire that burns surface litter, other loose debris of the forest floor and small vegetation. In general, it is very useful for the forest growth and regeneration. But if grown grown in size, the fire not only burns ground flora but also engulfs the undergrowth and the middle story of the forest. The second one is underground fires. The fires of low intensity consuming the organic matter beneath the surface litter of forest floor are subgrouped as underground fire. In most of the dense forest, a thick mantle of organic matter is found on top of the mineral soil. This fire spreads in by consuming such material. These fires usually spread entirely underground and burn for some meters below the surface. This fire spreads very slowly, and in most of the cases it becomes very hard to detect and control such type of fires. It may continue to burn for months and destroy vegetative cover of the soil. The other terminology for this type of fire is muck fires. The third one is ground fires. There is no clear distinction between underground and ground fires. The smoldering underground fire sometimes changes into ground fire. This fire burns root and other material on or beneath the surface. That is, burns the herbaceous growth on forest floor together with the layer of organic matter in various stages of decay. They are more damaging than surface fires as they can destroy vegetation completely. These fires are often hard to detect and are the least spectacular and slowest moving. Fighting such fire is very difficult. The fourth one is crown fires. It is the most unpredictable fires that burn the top of trees and spread rapidly by wind. In most of the cases, these fires are invariably ignited by surface fires. This is one of the most spectacular kinds of forest fires which usually advance from top to down of trees or shrubs, more or less independent of surface fires. In dense conifers stands with a brisk wind, the crown fire may rise ahead of the supporting surface fire. Since it is over the heads of ground force, it is uncontrollable until it again drops to the ground. And since it is usually fast moving, it poses grave danger to the firefighters, becoming trapped and burned.
Now let's see what causes forest fire.
There are basically three components, that is fuel, heat and oxygen, that are needed in right combination to produce fire. Combination of these components produces the fire triangle. Out of these three essential components of fire triangle, two components, that is fuel and oxygen, are naturally available in forest. It is the third component, that is heat, that really initiates fire in the forest. Heat may be supplied by either natural or artificial reasons. Depending upon the source of the heat,
the causes of forest fire can broadly classified as anthropogenic and natural. More than 95% of the forest fires are due to anthropogenic causes.
Anthropogenic causes can be again classified into deliberate causes and accidental causes. Under deliberate causes come shifting cultivation, to flush growth of tendu leaves, to have good growth of grass and fodder, to settle score with forest departments or personal rivalry, to clear paths by villagers, to encroach upon the forest land, for concealing illicit felling, tribal traditions or customs. Under accidental causes come collection of non-timber forest produce, burning farm residues, driving away wild animals, throwing burning bidi or cigarettes, campfires by picnickers, sparks from vehicle exhaust, sparks from transformers, uncontrolled prescribed burning, resin tapping, making charcoal in forest, extracting wine in forest, sparks from cooking near forest, heating coal tar for road construction in forest. The natural causes can be lightning, friction of rolling stone, rubbing of dry bamboo clumps, or volcanic explosion. Next, we'll be seeing how fire-prone are India's forests. According to the India State of Forest Report 2019 released by Forest Survey of India, about 21.67% of the country's geographical area is identified as forest. Tree cover makes up another 2.89%. Based on previous fire incidents and recorded events, the 2020-21 annual report of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change makes the following categorizations. 1. Most vulnerable areas. This include forest of the Northeast and Central India regions. Second one is extremely prone areas, which include forest in Assam, Mizoram and Tripura. The third one is very highly prone category. Under this come states with large forest areas including Andhra Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Odisha, Maharashtra, Bihar and UP. Among these, Western Maharashtra, Southern Chhattisgarh and areas of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh along with central Odisha are also turning into extremely prone forest fire hotspots. Highly prone and moderately prone categories make up about 26.2% of the total forest cover. Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh are the two states that witness the most frequent forest fires annually. In the year 2021, there were series of forest fires in Himachal Pradesh, Nagaland Manipur border, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. These include the forest fires in wildlife sanctuaries and national parks too. Forest fires usually take place in April-May season in various parts of the country. But forest fires have been more frequent than usual in Uttarakhand and have also taken place during winter. A number of 37,059 fires were detected in the year 2018 using moderate resolution imaging spectroradiometer sensor data. Based on the forest inventory records, 54.4% of forests in India are exposed to occasional fires, 7.49% to moderately frequent fires, and 2.4% to high incidence levels, while 35.7% of India's forests have not yet been exposed to fires of any real significance. Now, we'll be discussing about the impacts of forest fires. The first one, loss of ecosystem and biodiversity. Forest fires destroy the habitats and intricate relationships of diverse flora and fauna, leading to loss of ecosystem and biodiversity. Wildfires damage the habitable and adaptable land for specific animal and plant species. Wildfires can even lead to extinction of certain animals. 2. Forest degradation. Forest fires, especially those in dry tropical forest, are a major cause of forest degradation. Forest fires render several hectares of forest useless and leave behind ash, making it unfit for any vegetation growth. 3. Air pollution. Trees and plants purify the atmospheric air that we depend on for respiration. Forest fires destroys this living plant matter and thus affects the purification of air. In addition, the huge clouds of smoke indicated by wildfires lead to massive air pollution. Smoke and various types of poisonous gases coming out from forest fires adversely affect the health of all living beings, including humans. 4. Soil degradation. Forest soils are loaded with nutrients released from decaying forest debris. Forest fires kill beneficial soil microorganisms that are responsible for breaking down the soil and promoting soil microbial activities. The burning of trees and vegetation cover also leaves the soil bare, making it readily vulnerable to soil erosion. 5. Destruction of watersheds. Trees and vegetation act as watershed protectors since approximately all the water comes from forest-dependent water tables. Whenever they burn, the natural protection system for water tables, streams and rivers may be affected. After forest fire, the chemical and physical changes in the upper layer of soil make it impervious and thus reduce water infiltration. The removal of litter also decreases water holding capacity of soil and most of the rainwater is washed away, removing top fertile soil of the forest, resulting into loss of soil fertility. 6. Global warming. Greenhouse gases released during the combustion of vegetation lead to an increased warming of the earth or human-induced global climate change. 7. Microclimate change. The changed microclimate caused by removal of litter and duff, opening of the canopy by killing the overstory shrubs and trees, and darkening of the soil surface by residual soot and charcoal can increase insulation, causing temperature increase. As a result, the changed area becomes unhealthy for living of both wild habitats and local people. 8. Loss of livelihood. Forest fires adversely affect livelihood resources, especially for tribals who are directly dependent upon collection of non-timber forest products from forest areas for their livelihood. 9. Loss of valuable timber resources. Forest fires cause indispensable loss to timber and deteriorate its quality. Valuable timber species like teak, sal, chir, deodar, rosewood, etc. are adversely affected by fire. 10th is depletion of carbon sink. Trees act as carbon sinks when they absorb carbon dioxide from atmosphere and build up the same in the form of wood. However, forest fires release hundreds of years of stored carbon dioxide into the atmosphere and thus result into permanent destruction of important sink of carbon. 11. Threat to life and property. Human life is at risk when fire crews fight fires either at the fire front or from conflict with animals, especially elephants. A forest fire that spreads outside the forest can consume buildings or infrastructure. 12. Reduce tourism values. Forest fires destroy the quality of forest ecosystem, which adversely affect its tourism potential. Next is different measures required to prevent forest fires. First one is policy. A national policy is required to consolidate the existing guidelines which should be aligned with the climate change policies. The policy should also define the respective roles and responsibilities of the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, state forest departments and disaster agencies. 2. Human capital. Introduction of new remote sensing technologies will help in better ground-based detection. So, proper training should be given to field officers, seasonal fire watchers and community volunteers involved in firefighting. 3. Coordination with other agencies. Stronger collaboration between the state forest departments, the disaster management authorities and research entities would enable state to innovate new science-based management approaches for preventing fires and rehabilitating fire-affected areas. 4. Technology. Systems for early warning and fire danger need to be developed. Fire alert systems can also be improved by integrating ground-based detection with the satellite-based alert systems. 5. Community engagement. Sensitization of communities should be done to ensure that fire is used responsibly in a way that promotes forest health. It is vital in regions such as Northeast where communities are responsible for managing most of the forest estate. Next, we'll be seeing different initiatives of the Government of India in managing forest fire. The protection and management of forest from various threats including forest fire is within the purview of respective state or union territory governments. The Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change issues advisories to state or union territory governments for taking effective steps for prevention and management of forest fires. The Forest Survey of India disseminates satellite-based forest fire alerts on location of forest fires to all states or union territories, forest departments and other registered users through SMS and email for taking effective steps for controlling the fire at the initial stage itself so as to minimize the damage and losses. Further, the Government of India supplies the efforts of states or union territory governments in prevention and control of forest fire by providing financial assistance under the centrally sponsored Forest Fire Prevention and Management Scheme. Since 2004, the Forest Survey of India developed the Forest Fire Alert System to monitor forest fires in real time. Its advanced version launched in January 2019 now uses satellite information gathered from NASA and ISRO. National Action Plan on Forest Fires 2018 was launched to minimize forest fires by informing, enabling and empowering forest fringe communities and incentivizing them to work with the state forest departments. Forest Fire Prevention and Management Scheme is the only centrally funded program specifically dedicated to assist the states in dealing with forest fires. In para 11.2 of the 21st draft of the Earth Conference in Rio in 1992, various problems arising out of forest fires were discussed in detail. The Forest Survey of India has launched the beta version of the Large Forest Fire Monitoring Program in 2019 using near real-time SNPP VIRS data. This program is a part of the FAST 3.0, that is FSI Fire Alert System 3.0. Now comes the challenges to control forest fires. The locality of the forest and access to it pose hurdles in initiating firefighting efforts. 2. Shortage of skilled staff, especially during peak season, is another challenge in dispatching firefighting teams. Timely mobilization of forest staff, fuel and equipment, depending on the type of fire through the thick forest, remains challenging because it's impossible to transport heavy vehicles loaded with water into thick forest. Forest fires have become an issue of global concern. In many countries, wildfires are burning larger areas and fire seasons are growing longer due to global warming.
We have discussed almost everything that you need to know about forest fires. Now, see the questions once again to ensure that you are able to answer all the questions without any doubt.
Question number 1. What is the most common cause of forest fires in India? Option A, lightning. Option B, human activities. Option C, dry wind. Option D, low level of soil moisture. Question number 2. Which of the following is or are true? 1. Soil erosion is one of the consequences of forest fires. 2. Burning of forest at the peak of the dry season helps to stimulate grass growth before the monsoon rains break. Option A, only 1. Option B, only 2. Option C, 1 and 2. And option D, neither 1 nor 2. Question number 3. A report on forest fires is published by A. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. B. Forest Survey of India. Option C, Ministry of Home Affairs. And option D, UNEP. Question number 1. What are the major causes of forest fires in India? Discuss its impact on the forest ecosystem. Suggest some measures to tackle it. Question number 2. There is social, economic and environmental imbalance due to the continuous increase of forest fires in India as well as the world. Do you agree that public apathy towards forest is the most responsible for this problem? Question number 3. What factors make forest fires a concern? What efforts are being taken to protect forests from fire in India? Question number 4. Forest fires pose a threat not only to the forest wealth but also to the entire regime. In view of this statement, discuss the various adverse impacts of forest fires.
See you with another set of expected questions from a new topic in the next video. Please subscribe our channel and support us. Thank you.